blockchains are secure, but humans are stupid. Let me explain what I mean by that. Is that crypto security is very, very hard. It's not something that is given to everyone. You think you are good in security, but actually you are not, because there are many factors that escapes you. When you get into crypto, you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice if you want your crypto funds to be held by a third party, like an exchange, and you have to trust them with your money, and you might have some bad surprises at some moment, or you have to choose for a non-custodial, a self-custody solution, a solution where you are in control, and you have to trust yourself and trust the software or the solution to manage your own security at your own risk. And we call that pick your poison. Why we call that pick your poison? Because no matter which choice you're going to make, whether you're trusting a third party or whether you're going to trust yourself, you're going to make a design decision about how your security is affecting your experience. And this design and this choice is going to affect the possibility of recovering your funds and accessing your funds, and many times losing your funds. And what I want to do with this presentation is explain to you that UX, meaning user experience, is security, and security is user experience. Those are not two different things. They should not be thought differently, separately, in different departments. They should be thought as one and same field. And this matters because this affects the funds that you are in charge of. And there is a simple rule in software, not just in crypto, is anything that can go wrong will go wrong at some point. In crypto, it can be different things. It can be malicious or careless custodians, we will talk about that, technical vulnerabilities, human errors, unnecessary complexity in the user experience, poor design choices made by the software editor or the hardware manufacturer, and sometimes just pure and simple lost and stolen private keys. So sometimes there is things that happen with custodians when you give your money to an exchange, and many times and every month we hear about those episodes. Mt. Gox was the most famous one. People trusted this exchange and many lost their money. Sometimes it's better. You have exchanges like Binance, something wrong happened, and Binance treated it super well. They had funds to cover their own customers of the accident that happened, but it's not always like that. Many times the funds don't have the insurance to cover the errors and the funds that are lost. You have technical vulnerabilities. The most famous one has been the parity hack, where an error was done in the smart contract of the wallet, and funds were locked and lost forever, but there were many others, and some of them are listed here. Sometimes you say, all right, I won't trust software, I won't trust the hardware. All right, I'm going to use this cold storage, which is supposed to be the golden standard for protecting my funds. But then, at some point, even hardware you discover that is vulnerable. There are vulnerabilities discovered in the hardware, and those some are discovered by the hardware themselves, the manufacturer themselves, and some by third parties. Sometimes it's the hardware that is around what enables you to use your hardware wallet, like your computer or your keyboard, where you're going to discover that third party can intrude and read what you're writing. Sometimes there are human errors. Okay, we're all humans. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we make terrible mistakes. Sometimes funny mistakes, like this guy here. Okay, just set up his hardware wallet. He's very proud of it. Make a picture and puts on the picture the seed phrase. All right. What did he write? He wrote, "Finally, I feel safe and backed up now." And the first comment we did is very funny. It's thanks for the money. This is a real case of one of our customers. That happened on our solution. He used the hardware wallet, won't say any name, and he wrote his 24 words with his own writing. He thought he was backed up, except that the words didn't work when he wanted to recover on another wallet. And the reason is because he wrote this word, STAB, S-T-A-B. We discovered thanks to some nice software that helped us reverse engineer seed phrases, that it was not stab, but it was slab, S-L-A-B. He thought it was a T, but it was an L. And those errors happen every single day. Why? Because humans are not designed to manage security. Sometimes this is poor design choices. made by the software or the hardware and manufacturers or engineers that they think with good intentions that they're going to protect you. For example, many times, how many times have you seen you have to choose a password? And this password asks you to have at least 8 characters long, and one of them has to be uppercase, and one has to be lowercase, and one has to be a special character, and one is a number. Oh my God, right? And you see that, it's terrible, and you have to reset it every 3 months. Banks do that very often, it's horrible user experience. And of course, people will make errors. They will on the left, this guy called Sean is an engineer at BitGo, right? BitGo is specialized in crypto security. This is what they do all day long. This guy got his Coinbase account hacked because someone managed to reverse engineer the 2FA of his account, of his Gmail account, and by the way, resetting all his accounts, including his Coinbase account. He lost $100,000. When you set up an authenticator on Google Authenticator and you move to a new phone, people think that because this is going to be ported to the new phone. It's not. You have to deactivate the 2FA and reactivate it, but sometimes it's too late, and then you cannot access your services. So protection by 2FA sucks. Lost or stolen private keys. Every single wallet has a private key. A hardware wallet, a software wallet, and you have to keep it safe. And people think they keep it safe. They put it in papers, they put it into a software like Evernote that they think is protected. And every day people lose their money because they're losing their private key, they cannot recover it. They can't remember where they put it. They used a pen with the wrong ink that melted over time. They used a piece of paper that was thrown away by the cleaning lady that thought was pure garbage and things like that. A company called Chainalysis estimated that 2.5 million and so Bitcoin were lost forever because of mismanagement of private keys. So, where is your private key? It's in a hot wallet, it's in a cold wallet, you have to choose between both. The reality is no matter what choice you make, your backup is always up to you to protect it. And this protection is called keep it somewhere safe. Keep it somewhere safe. How many times have you seen that sentence? Keep it somewhere safe. Without an expiry, you put it in a bank. And if you paid attention yesterday, there was an article in the New York Times that even bank safe are not safe. They're not insured by the bank, and the bank, under federal custody investigation, can empty your bank safe. So even your bank safe is not safe. So what is the solution for better improving the security of private key management? So there is something called multi-sig. Have you heard about multi-sig? Multi-sig, raise your hand. Yeah. So multi-sig is you're not alone to sign a transaction. You don't alone to sign with a private key. There are multiple people signing up with you. Okay. What's the problem with multi-sig? It's complicated to set up. It's publicly exposed, and it works mostly with Bitcoin only, poorly with Ethereum, and doesn't work with other blockchain. So, is it really mission impossible to have something that's so much better, where users do not require to be experts in security, and where when complexity kills the user experience because there are too many steps and too many things to set up and too many things to remember, so you can have your funds protected? How can we end with the tyranny of the private key management, which is a real hassle? And like an insurance, you don't know you need about that until an accident happens. And an accident will happen. You don't know it yet, but it will. And so, we thought hard about this problem. This is what we do all day long. And we're not alone, a few other companies too. And we believe that the direction to think about this problem is by using creativity and math. So instead of trusting humans for their choices or for the designs, you trust math instead, because math cannot be fooled. Math are math. Math are truth. So just first, heads up, very clear, and let's be clear, 100% security never exists, never will exist. There's always solutions with trade-offs, but we believe that it's possible to reduce considerably surface attack, human errors, and room for loss of funds. So here are a few ideas for improvements. The first one is to have solutions around what's called distributed key management, where instead of relying on one person or one device, you can rely on multiple persons or multiple devices. So we have multi-sig, but as we saw, multi-sig is not scalable to all type of assets. So you're going to be stuck with other blockchains when you want to store new blockchains, for example, that are arriving. If tomorrow it's a Binance chain, or Libra, or other things like that. So you need a better solution. And for that, you have new paradigms that are arriving. One of them is called threshold signature, which is a discipline or derivation of multi-party computation. And there is today many solutions that are starting to appear on the market. We are one of them. We are the first consumer-grade solution based on threshold signature, where independent parties, without exposing the secret, can sign together a transaction. And if you have time, we make a quick demo. You'll see it's really magical when you see it. So trust math, not humans. Make it as little as possible human dependent. Don't make people write things. Don't make people remember things. Don't force human into poor design choices in how they implement password and how they implement security. Because it will not just happen. When a wallet onboards you to their solution and puts as an option to backup, right? And backup later. This is what will happen. Most people will not back up, and when they move to another phone, they will lose their funds. This is a terrible choice. This is a choice that is made by humans. This is something that should not happen. So trust math, not human. User-controlled and seedless security. User-controlled means that a solution should be controlled by the user, but not dependent on the user. Right? Controlled by the user means only the user can do critical actions, like starting a transaction, like initiating a transaction, like choosing to which it should be sent, but should not be alone and should be assisted, especially for large amount of transaction or critical operation. There are already technologies that helps users design use solutions without the need of managing a passphrase or a seed. This 24 list of passwords that some of you are probably familiar with already, that are the backup of your funds. So we believe, and we think this is the future, not just in crypto, but in general, that the future will look password-free, meaning that is not open source, should be taken with a very big grain of salt, and I don't say ignored, because it's a strong word, but it's something that really matters. So we believe that UX security, or security UX, user experience and security, is something that is mission possible. It's not a mission impossible, it just requires new rules, new paradigms, and creativity. And all of that together can help build new user experiences that will free every single one of us from the tyranny of private key management. This is something that matters because there is no way on earth that crypto will get adopted by billions of users with the management of security the way it exists today. No matter how we do it, it has to change, and it has to change in a radical way. So, before I go to a demo, I'd like to ask you if you have some questions on what I said, and then I will show you like a few quick videos on how we build our crypto wallet. And you're familiar with crypto wallet, you will see a substantial difference in simplicity, but also in security, and I will comment as we go. Do you have any questions? Please raise your hand. I don't see so well because the light is very strong. Question? No question? Comments? Okay, no, that's good. I can see. It's fine. All right, no problem. So no question asked means that you understood everything, that you're going to dump your wallet, and that you're going to use our new wallet. That I like. All right. Of course, it was a joke, but happy to download it if you want. It's, by the way, only available on iOS for now. Android will be available very soon. We launched right? Someone single. In this case, in this video, you see someone who has already a wallet that is restoring it. After that, I show you how you create a backup, right? And that's how you get to restore later. First video. Secure. So that's what you saw. What you saw here is someone entering his email, scanning his face in 3D, which is not the biometrics of the device. It's something that is encrypted on the phone, but that we manage. And he had no password. What we skipped is the phase where you click on an email to confirm your email is real. but otherwise there is no password to write. And as you saw, in a few seconds, is what was restored on a new phone with no password involved. What that also means is that only him can access his wallet and his funds. Unlike any other wallet where if you have someone who has your 2FA, your password can own your wallet and spend it. It's the first time ever that this is possible, not just in crypto, but also in fintech. Show you a new video. This is how you create a backup, meaning how you get to the situation where you can restore. It's kind of similar, all right? This is how you set it up the first time. Simply Secure. That's the signature of the brand. So with a few taps and just scanning his face, the wallet, the fund is back up. There is no private key involved in Zengo, no private keys ever generated, no password is ever required, there is nothing to write down, there is nothing to remember, you just need to keep your head with you. If you can do that, if you can keep your head on your shoulders, you should be okay, all right? So that's the only mission that you have to comply with, keep your head. Any question until now? Any question? Raise your hand. Oh, someone has a question over there. I managed to get a question. And try in English because in Korean I cannot answer. All right, microphone's coming. I hope it's a challenging question.
네, 한국어로 질문하겠습니다. 제가 좀 늦게 들어와서 사실 정확하게 앞에 내용을 설명드리는
Maybe someone translate what he said? Oh, real-time translation. Wow, that's awesome. Right. Okay. Go ahead.
네, 제가 조금 늦게 들어와서 정확하게 앞부분을 이해 못했었을 수도 있는데 지금 저렇게 안면 인식 같은 경우에 이제 삼성이나 어떤 폰들을 이용하는 경우에는 이제 얼굴이 아니고 실제 얼굴을 찍은 사진만으로도 가끔 열리게 되는 경우들이 많이 발생을 했는데 이제 젠고 같은 경우에는 그 안면 인식 기술을 이제 조금 역으로 이용해서 이제 범죄를 저지르는 경우들도 있는데 그런 경우들에 대해서는 어떤 식으로 대처할 수 있는지 궁금합니다.
Alright, thank you for your question. It's a very good question. We get it all the time, and I have two answers for you. So the question is, it's not using biometrics that is operated by our server. We're not using the same sensors and the same parameters that are typically used by device biometrics, which are device-centric. It's a lot more sophisticated, and it's a lot more parameters that are censored. So what we are measuring is not the fact that you are looking like you. We're not measuring what's called the likeness. We're measuring the liveness, meaning the fact that your face is alive. So let's assume you're taking a picture of yourself, and you put the picture instead of your real face. The camera will sense that your face is not alive, that it's static, because it's video, it will detect that there is no depth to the video. So it will detect that the face is not live. And if using a 3D mask, like Mission Impossible style, by the way, this is why I picked Mission Impossible, and you're using like Ethan Hawke type of style mask, it will not detect that your eyes are blinking, it will not detect that your mouth is moving, and it will not detect the accuracy of your face. So it will also fail. And to prove it, we launched a month ago what we call the Zengo Challenge. The Zengo Challenge is a simple challenge. It's actually open right now. You can win one Bitcoin. We put a 1 Bitcoin in a wallet. We give you the email. We give you the iCloud account. And we give you even a picture of my face. All right? You can try to recover the Bitcoin right now. If you manage, it's yours. We had hundreds of people trying to crack it. No one has managed to crack it until now. So that answers your question. Technically, it's not possible. We have a proof right now showing that the technology is vastly superior than traditional face recognition on devices. I hope that answers. One more question, maybe a quick one. Oh, good.
You have to be online to unlock.
You have to be online to unlock, absolutely. And you have to always be online to make a transaction. Right? So if you are offline, it means that you are either dead or you are in a nice desert island and covered. Yes?
So after this talk, will you take a selfie with me?
I absolutely will. And sadly, as you heard before, it won't help you too much to get the Bitcoin. But we can take even multiple if you want.
한국말로? 보통 생체인식 를 통해서 암호화하는 게 실제로 프라이빗키, 퍼블릭키 이렇게 암호화하는 것보다 암호학적으로는 더 약하다고 알고 있는데 뭐 지문으로 암호한다든지 홍채로 암호한다든지 이런 것들이 이제 실제로는 거의 암호학적으로 떨어지는 걸 알았거든요. 그래서 이게 프라이빗키를 보호하는 뭐라고 해야 되나 강도라고 해야 되나 더 떨어지는 게 아닌지 그 다음에 실제로 그 프라이빗키가 어디에 저장되어 있는지 진짜로 서버에 저장되어 있는지 암호화되어서 저장되어 있는지 알겠습니다.
So, excellent question, thank you very much. The question is, where is the private key and is biometrics safe enough to protect it? So let me answer with two levels. First, we're using multi-party computation and threshold signature, where at no moment a private key is ever generated. So there is no private key that is ever generated. I know it would be difficult to believe because it's not the way our brain has been trained for the past 10 years, but there is no private key ever generated. So there's no single point of string that can be spent. First point of information. The secrets are generated independently on your phone and on the server. And they are generated independently, they never meet each other. They are interacting by ways of zero-knowledge proofs and mathematical operation, but they are never meeting each other, which means that there is no single point of failure, right? The biometrics is just one of the factors that enables you to access your wallet. There are three factors. There is your email address, there is your device and your iCloud account, and there is your face biometrics, right? So those combined together makes the protection of your funds vastly superior to a typical wallet where only a private key and your memory protects you. I hope that answers your question.
Sorry, I think you misunderstood my question. So you're saying that biometrics is more secure than a private key.
No.
What's stopping me from telling you and taking a selfie with you and scanning your face?
So I will repeat what I just said. First, I'm not saying biometric is superior to private key management. I'm saying that distributed security with multi-party computation and threshold signature is, and I'm answering now to your question, which I answered before, but I will repeat. If you take a selfie with me, and we will, it will not work.
I'm asking what is stopping me from opening your app, telling you and taking a selfie with you, and scanning your face?
It will not work, because you are protected by three factors. You're protected by your email, by your device and cloud account, and by the fact that I will be willing to sit with you and scan my face for 5 seconds. If you manage to do that, it means that you're a good attacker and that you have a gun pointed to my face.
When you talk about cybersecurity, 99% of all things that hack are from a social kind of vulnerability.
Yeah.
So I mean that is definitely the most vulnerable thing.
It's
that 5 seconds that you're saying is not important.
It's not, because you need physical proximity. It will not work with a remote picture, a video, or 3D mask.
I'm going to walk up to you later if I had an iOS. But
And you will also need my email account, and you will also need my iCloud account. Will you manage to have those three?
again, these are things that socially I could very easily ascertain, whereas the private key I cannot.
How can you get access to my email account? And how can you get access also to my iCloud account? All three of them at the same time? All right, okay, let's try that. Okay, I give you 5 minutes to try. And then after that I run, so you have to run faster than me. Thank you very much.